Hello and welcome to the full tutorial on how to use the PJTrades Inverted Fair Value Gap Indicator. Thank you so much for purchasing the indicator. First of all, I really appreciate your business. We've been working on this indicator for the last 6 months on the back end, combining all my favorite elements of trading into one indicator. And in this video today, I'm going to break down the different features, how to use it, the alerts, and all that fun stuff here today. So let's get on into it, onto the charts. One of my members brought this up to me and I honestly didn't even think about it. But if you guys are on a TradingView like free plan, for example, you can only add 1 or 2 indicators to your chart. With this PJTrades Inverted Fair Value Gap Model Indicator, you're getting access to up to 10 different indicators that you would normally have to run on your chart at once, all compiled into one. So you're getting like a 10 for 1 discount here, being able to add all those indicators at once, which are all right inside of the IFVG model indicator. This is how you add the indicator to your TradingView after you purchase it. It's very, very simple. You're going to go up to indicators, click on indicators, and you're going to go to invite only on the left side. You're going to see the inversion fair value gap model PJTrades right here by Flux Charts. What you're going to do is you're just going to hit this little favorite button. Okay, and you can click this right here or go back to where it's favorited, find it, which is right here, click it. Then it's going to be added to your chart like so. And you're ready to advance to the next step. We are going to start breaking down how this thing works. You've integrated it into your TradingView by now. I'm going to go ahead and pull up the indicator and the settings here on the left side of the screen. If you have it, click on settings. We're going to start there first. I want to break down everything that you guys have in this indicator because it's a lot. Starting from the top. Now, as you know, we trade liquidity, right? Liquidity is the lifeblood of my trading style. And the indicator is going to give you signals based off of how we trade liquidity, right? The option at the top is liquidity levels used, right? You could select either both, meaning that would be swing points and session highs or lows, okay? Or you can individually choose how you want the indicator to print the signal, whether that's just using swing points, okay? Or whether that's just using session highs and lows. Session highs and lows are Asia, London, New York AM, New York PM. Those are our session highs and lows. As you can see, if you're using just session highs and lows in this example, the indicator is only going to print when a session high and low is swept. As you can see in this example, it prints a London low liquidity sweep, an IFVG, and a multi-liquidity sweep at the same time, printing an A+ trade setup. We'll get more into all that stuff, but I want to go through the features first. Now, next setting is the bias setting, right? Are we bullish? Are we bearish? Now, we've given you guys the option to either run this on automatic, where based on the algorithm that we've coded, it'll automatically give the bias that the algorithm sees, whether it's bullish or bearish, or you can manually do it yourself, right? If you're saying that the market's bullish that day and you can see it, then you can go and select manual. The signal will only be looking for bullish trade ideas. As you can see, when I select this option, the indicator is going to load for a second, and now it's only going to print bullish signal opportunities within the market. As you can see, A+, A++. It's only printing bull setups, and you could do the opposite and do bearish setups only if you're hunting just bearish setups, okay? I like to keep this on both. I like to keep this on automatic, okay? Well, it will just automatically default to both. That's the way that we've set it up default. Now, IFVG sensitivity. This right here controls how big the inverted fair value gap must be in the average true range of units. Now, to be honest with you, man, I don't even use this thing. You can change the sensitivity on how often the indicator is printing IFVGs. Leaving it on 0 for me is fine. Now, we have an option of using just first presented fair value gaps. Okay, if you know my style of trading, you know how strong the first presented fair value gap can be on a leg. So you can opt to just take signals based off of first presented inverted fair value gaps. Now, if you click that, obviously it's going to load and it's only going to print setups based on those parameters. As you can see here on this leg, This is the first presented gap. It goes inverse, it prints this trade signal, and that trade signal ends up being a winner. So again, the customization in this thing is unbelievable, and we leave it up to the trader to make those decisions. And again, if you're using first presented IFVGs, you're going to get less signals, right? Less signals. Sometimes people want that too. So you can use that option. Now, next option, only take trades between 9:30 and noon. You could select that. Like for me, right? I'm only trading 9:30 to noon, to 12:15 max. So you guys can tweak this and have the indicator only present setups within that specific time frame if you don't want an overload of signals. That is another option. Next option is going to be minimum RR, okay? You can set this on being a 1-to-1 risk to reward, a 1-to-2 risk to reward, a 1-to-3 risk to reward, whatever you like. I have it set on 1-to-2 because that's what I trade in real life. That's how I look for trades. I usually look for a 1-to-2 risk to reward trade setup. That's how I have it set. Next is going to be your minimum signal rating. Now, this is the rating system that we have built into the indicator. Okay, we have A+, and A++. Now, I have it set on A because that's the minimum signal that I'm willing to take is an A setup. You guys can set it on just A++, for example, and you're only going to get A++ signals printed on the chart. As you can see here, there's only a few now, right? Only few A++ trade-offs that present in a trading session. So you can tweak that however you guys like. I like to keep it on A. Now, while we're on that subject, as you can see over here on the right side of our screen, we have built in a checklist for you guys. This checklist is going to provide you the steps that we're looking for in a trade setup. For example, bias is bullish, liquidity sweep, check. Higher time frame fair value gap, check. V-shaped recovery, check. Inversion fair value gap, check. Clear opposite draw on liquidity, check. Do we have an SMT divergence? No, in this scenario. So this checklist is very handy for you guys because you're going to be able to use this in confluence with your own trades and start to really be like, hey, am I seeing this stuff for myself? You can use the indicator as confluence and really start to build the way that you trade based off how the indicator is printing. So I really love that feature that we have it in there. I hope you guys enjoy that as well. Next, we have the inverted fair value gap. This is just the coloring that you can do for the inversions. As you can see on my screen, it comes out like a greenish and a little red coloring. You can change that. You can add the mid lines or the consequent encroachment lines to those fair value gaps. Again, there's so many features. Next is going to be higher time frame fair value gaps. Now, if you don't want to mark out fair value gaps on your chart, you could have this do it for you, right? This will mark it out on a 30-minute time frame. You can mark it out on a 1-hour time frame, 4-hour. You can customize any time frame that you want here that you want this indicator to print fair value gaps. As you can see here, if we go back to current price, you are going to see that it is printing all these gaps here. Here's a 30-minute FVG. Here's another 30-minute FVG, and they're just on your chart. So hey, we're trading out of a 30-minute gap right now. You might forget it. The indicator is going to remind you, hey, this is where we're at. So that's a really cool feature too. You can shut it off as well. Again, all this stuff can be shut off or turned on, whatever you want to do. Again, you can add the midlines or the consequent encroachment to your fair value gaps right here. Then the next feature we added in is a feature that everybody always asks me about. Like, what are the overnight highs and lows? How do I mark those out? Well, we've got you covered. You're just going to select all of this right here, right? You're going to go back to your chart and it is going to print all the session highs and lows for you. Okay. This is going to be everything that you need to mark it out in real time, right? Here's your New York PM highs. Here's your New York PM lows. Here's your New York AM lows, your New York AM highs, and it'll print as many sessions back as you want it to. And you can just start marking this out really quickly on your own chart so you know where those session highs and lows are. And then once you're done marking them out, you can just turn them off if you don't want them to, because I don't like having these sessions on my screen because I think it's too much noise. And you can just turn it right off and it's gone. Boom. Tons of features, guys. Really just so much customizations in this indicator. Again, you can go as crazy as you want. Next feature is key levels, right? Do you want to know where the daily open is? All right, well, I want that on my chart. Do you want previous days highs and lows? Boom, add that to my chart. You can do that with the weekly open, the monthly open, everything's there, okay? Now, key levels that I always have on my chart right here. We've added this week. midnight opening price, and 8:30 opening price, right? I like to know where these are in my trading day. It gives me confluence on where the market's likely headed, right? If we're above the 8:30 open and the midnight opening price at the 9:30 bell, there's a high likelihood that we're headed higher for the day. I like to know that. You can add that on your chart as well. Again, to give you guidance in your own trading, you can toggle it on or off at any time right here. Okay. You can also change the line styles. Do you want them solid, dotted, or dashed? The label sizing can be auto, normal, small, whatever you want. And then you can switch to swing high and lows. Like how many swing high and lows do you want to see printed on your chart? What that is are these right here. As you can see, these are swing highs, right, in the market, and these are swing lows. The indicator is going to print that for you. So it gives you guidance in your trading. We know that that's liquidity too. So the indicator is printing these highs and lows on the chart for you. So you're reminded. Next feature, macro times. Everybody wants to know, when's the macro? Well, here it is right here, guys. 9:50 macro, 10:50 macro, 11:50 macro. Now, adding that to your chart, we're going to let the indicator load. And this is going to print in real time when you are inside of a macro. It'll start printing automatically. So you know that you're in a high probability macro where there's likely to be a lot of volume. Okay. So if you can see the trade that we took on November 21 was inside that 950 macro. We got a 100-point trade out of that inside of the macro. You can toggle that on and off at any time. So it's reminding you, hey, we're in a macro. This is a great time to look for a trading opportunity. You could tweak all this, right? Macro labels, show zones, whatever you want. Okay, the next feature is the new day opening gap and new week opening gap. We love to have this on our chart because we know that the new week opening gap likely is going to get filled at some point in time during that trading week. If we create a gap, as you can see here, market on Friday, November 7th, gaps up on Sunday, November 9th open, creating a massive gap here. And a lot of people forget about this gap. So the indicator will remind you that it's there. It'll print it on the chart. And then you can do what I do. Just come in here, mark it out on your own. Okay. Or leave it up however you want to. And then you can go back and shut it off. So you know that that is new week opening gap. And this is going to give you guidance in your trading because new week opening gap likely is going to get filled at some point in time. As you can see, the market comes down in here and it taps new week opening gap. So another great little feature we've added in there. You can also use the new day opening gap feature. I don't use it that much, but new week opening gap for me is chef's kiss. Okay, the next feature that we have is going to be the SMT Divergence. SMT Divergence is going to be the SMT between NQ and ES. Okay, do we have an SMT Divergence? You can toggle this on or off. Again, this is a great confluence we use in our trading. It's also going to be in the checklist as well if you have it turned on. And you can obviously use this SMT Divergence with any other pair, indice, whatever you want, but we use it with ES. I would keep it on default and not touch it. And then you can see on the screen, it'll print SMTs in real time that you have within the market all over the place. It'll print on every time frame whenever there's going to be an SMT. As you can see here, I love a higher time frame SMT. Here's a 1 hour higher time frame SMT that the indicator prints and the market reverses from that zone. So another great feature that we've added in there for you guys as well. And then the rest of this, man, is just your dashboard. Your dashboard at the top right. Let me go over the dashboard here. We've added trade stats to the dashboard now. Okay. It'll tell you, hey, on whatever time frame you're looking at. For example, let's go on like the 15-minute time frame, well, the 5-minute for now. Okay. It's going to tell you that, hey, A setups are printing at 53%. A plus setups are printing at 47%, and A plus setups are printing at 20%. Likely that's a little bit lower because there's not many A plus setups on the trading indicator at the moment. So all the stats are here. Long trades, 54%, short trades, 43%. And this is a total of 135 trades at the moment. And again, this changes the more that you're actually looking at different time frames. I noticed something on the 30-second time frame though. This indicator is absolutely crushing it on a 30-second time frame. Right now, the 30-second time frame is printing at A plus setups at 67%, A plus setups at 47%, A setups at 42%. Again, you only need a 33% win rate if your average risk to reward is 1 to 2. This is a winning system, and it's telling you that on the screen. And last but not least, one of my favorite features that we've added in here is an actual notification when the indicator is printing a signal. How do you do this? Well, let me show you. So inside of these settings, we're going to scroll all the way down to the bottom, and you're going to see alerts at the bottom. You can select what alerts you're getting, right? Long, short, break even, TP1, TP2, at stop loss, liquidity sweep, SMT divergences. Select everything. Okay, hit OK. Now go back to your chart where you want this alert to happen. Right click, go to add alert, go to condition, find IFVG model by PJTrades, select that. Okay, and then you're going to go down to expiration and you're going to change this to whenever you want this to stop printing signals for you, right? I mean, you could probably just go as far out to, let's just say January 22nd, set that. It'll continue to print signals all the way to January 22nd. And then you're just going to have to do it over and add it again to your chart. And then interval is going to be same as chart. So whatever chart you're on, if you're on the 1 minute, it's going to print signals on the 1 minute. If you're on the 2 minute, it'll print signals and you'll get notified. And you can go right here to notifications, notify an app, show a toast notification. You can send an email. You can play a sound. And then right here, guys, on the left side, you're going to see a little notification bell next to the IFVG model indicator, and you're now getting real-time alerts when the indicator prints a signal. That's all the features inside of it. The next I want to break down is the actual way that the indicator is going to print in real time. Okay, so here's what it's going to look like. If we just do a replay bar here, we go down over to this trade setup, which is an A+ setup. Okay. And the indicator is going to, if we fast forward, we'll bring back the replay bar here, and we are going to see the indicator print a real signal. There it is, as it's an A+ signal, okay? And the indicator prints on the chart your entry, your stop loss, your break-even point, and your TPs, okay? So the trader can take an entry here, stops above the swing high, targeting the break even as the area that we're going to go risk free, and then our different targets down into here. And as you can see in this trade setup, the market prints a beautiful full TP trade. Guys, listen, we built this indicator so you guys can use this in Confluence with your own trading style. I don't want you to be a robot and just click the button every single time this thing prints a signal. Kind of defeats the whole purpose of what I'm doing here and how I'm teaching you guys how to trade. But at the end of the day, every trader has to make their own decision for themselves. This indicator is going to be fantastic when used in Confluence with our trading style here on the trading floor. Again, guys, thank you so much for purchasing the indicator. If you have any questions or concerns, don't hesitate to reach out to Flux Charts. They're going to be the one that handles any billing questions and stuff like that. And we would love to see you on the trading floor. See you next time.